Welcome to the Village of West Hampton Beach Planning Board meeting for July 10th. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our agenda's a little askew at the moment. We don't actually have a resolution for the Gables today.
No, we do.
We do?
The phasing one.
The phasing one,
Oh,
just on the
okay.
phasing.
Okay. All right, so I need a motion to accept the resolution as written.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I guess we're still not talking about fill applications.
Oh, Rocco seconded that one.
Okay.
We're waiting for a couple more tweaks, and then hopefully next time we'll get these.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with Quant Bay Beach Club.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Heather Wright for the applicant, Quant Beach Club. So since we last met, we appeared before the zoning board and we obtained a zoning board determination, which you should have all received. We've also received health department approval since that time. And we have a new submission that we will hopefully make if the board refers us to the ARB with some minor tweaks to the engineering plan that are consistent with the comments from your consultants and from the board. But I think our next step would be a referral to the ARB if the board was so inclined.
Are you ready to go?
We good?
Yeah, we are.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do the whole.
All right, so I need a motion to refer the applicant to the ARB.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then Heather, do you want to come back after the ARB, so the
Yes.
14th?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Potentially?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll earmark you there, make the submission of those new plans.
What day is it? That's August 14, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Got
And
it.
you're planning on knocking all this down by Labor Day, right? And and making the neighbors really happy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, great, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
with,
The neighbors will have a great view of it. They're so high up.
you said it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we really do like the submission.
Great, good, I'll let them know. And ARB, that's next week, right?
No,
Not have a meeting.
fifth.
August 5th? August 5th? Okay, that's great.
Yeah, they don't have a meeting next week.
All right, thank you, bye.
Okay, West Hampton Associates LLC, 123 through 129.
Hello, everybody.
Always a pleasure to see you.
It's nice to see you too. Frank Lombardo for West Hampton Associates. We're requesting modification of a site plan to redevelop portions of the site. I'll give you a little bit of background. 123, 125, 127, and 129 Main Street are the four commercial buildings that are on this one tax lot. Everybody recognizes this. Fun shows is on that site to give you a sense of where we are. And there's a plaza, if you will, in the middle. The four buildings are perimeter. Plaza and the buildings bridge the parking lot to Main Street, to Main Street. Each of the buildings have, with the exception of 127, which I'm going to refer to as Funchos, are retail uses. Funchos is a legal retail use, but it's a luncheonette, for lack of a better word. 123 and 125 have clothing stores, shoe stores, and so on. 129 is the vacant building that's been vacant for probably the better part of 6 years. That's where a major portion of our work on this application is going to be, that building and the plaza. The buildings are all two-story frame buildings, apartments on the second floor. 123 has a small office up there as well. And the first floor, as I said, where the retail use is. 129 sat vacant for so long because Harvey Drucker, the owner, cannot get a retail tenant to go in there. Let's just be realistic, it's off the beaten path. No one sees it, so unfortunately, no one rents it. But he's gotten a lot of inquiries for a restaurant standard in there. But unfortunately, no takers on that either because the net floor area inside that first floor is only about 750 square feet. And nobody wants to put a duplicate of Fun Shows in there. So the proposal that we have is to build an addition, a greenhouse addition for dining to the north of the building. And the building, all the buildings except for 123 have a second-story overhang, a cantilever. So we want to come out flush with that on 129. What that does is it gives us an additional 400 square feet of floor area, okay? And the reason we want to go with greenhouse construction is because we want transparency. There's a lot to be said about an open plaza, but to put hard structure with walls in there, you're basically constricting it more. So that's why we decided to go with greenhouse construction. The exterior of the buildings are all cream-colored vinyl siding. I hate it too. So we're opting to, with the exception of Fun Shows, we're opting to paint it all white. It kind of follows a
We're
lot.
replacing the siding or we're painting?
No, we found some material that might be able to paint over this thing and bond and stay. If not, we're going to replace it. If not, we're going to replace it. You're shaking your heads no. So, but the bottom line.
We might be the least of your problems. There's
Well, you
another
know what,
board
no, that's
which might have a bigger issue with that.
the facade is nothing, okay. If we have to replace it, we'll replace it, but Harvey's amenable to that.
Was Harvey looking to save a dime or
I'm sorry?
is Harvey looking to save money? Is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But the bottom line is, this is not an inexpensive project, no matter how you shape it.
Nothing's expensive.
But if he wants to get if he wants to get the tenant in there, we're gonna have to do what we have to do.
Well, it's gonna be an expensive project.
it is gonna be
because nothing's been done there
Well,
for 20 or 25 years. I mean,
The plaza portion is in terrible shape, okay? Got ripped up quite a bit for the Main Street Sewer District.
Well, again, to the conversation that Dave just brought up.
Right.
Nothing has been done in so long. I'm shocked that you haven't had a safety issue there.
Well, Brad can attest, we've had to do some structural remediation in one of the buildings because it has, stuff's decayed, okay? But what our goal here is to create something really nice, okay, from a design standpoint. Redo the entire plaza, okay? Take up all of the paving, do an extension of the paving that you have on Main Street right on in there, okay, bring it right up to the back property line, put in a lot of landscape, get rid of the timber railroad ties that are falling apart, and do something more substantial, like with curbing and so on. Get some brick planters in there. You've seen some of the drawings that we had. We're trying to make it, if I may. Trying to make it look like this. If you see the colors, the landscape, everybody, That's what we're trying to do.
Nobody's,
with-
I don't
with
think
what we
anybody
issue.
here is gonna fault you for trying to do that, but you do have a number of logistical issues. I mean,
This is just a.
parking is your biggest, is
Oh,
a
no,
huge
I know, I haven't
issue.
gotten to that one yet.
Yeah.
That's the elephant.
That village lot's packed anyways.
Trying to tell you what we're doing first, but then I'll get to the real problem.
Now, what
Okay,
view is that? What are we looking at? Which
You're
direction?
looking, you're looking at just a picture of a greenhouse. It's not
Okay.
necessarily what we're
It's
doing
not
here,
placed.
but that's the kind of the concept.
Okay.
You know, we're doing that. We're doing ambient lighting, of course, dark sky compliant.
And that's
Uh,
129,
What we're trying to do is get rid of the oversized corridor and make it an outdoor space. That's what we're trying to do. That's why we have on the site plan, we've got a lot of tables and chairs and so on. Some of them are for the restaurants, but not all of them are. It's, these are seasonal outdoor seats to kind of draw people in. It actually isn't a bad, I'm not trying to sell this, but I'm just saying, it isn't a bad marketing thing for a restaurant when somebody parks in the village lot and comes through and, and sees what's there. It's inviting. We want to make it inviting. We want people to come in, and then maybe they'll go to the restaurant there. They all go to fun shows, but they need a place to sit and eat, so that's why we have some of the seating out there. But the problem is parking. That's our, I told you I was saving the best for last. The problem is parking. We know we have other issues that we have to deal with, like stormwater management, but that's easy, in my opinion. The parking is, unfortunately, we've got no place to park other than the village lot and the street. I think I calculated 17 additional parking spaces, and that's what I calculated.
There's a lot of seating, tables on the plan.
Right.
Just for the record, like, what size restaurant, interior seating you looking for the restaurant?
Yeah.
40 seats.
Hope Springs
That was
Journal.
good. That's good.
So I think that's our big issue here. As far as other items like refuse removal and so on, we've addressed, I'm prepared to address it now, but I don't think that it's necessary to address it at this point, because we have a solution for that as well. I don't know if it's within your power to help, or do we need to go to ZBA for this?
Oh, you're gonna have to go to everybody. You
Everybody.
need help from everybody you know.
Okay, well, I know everybody here.
You know a lot of
I
people,
know a lot of
and this is
people,
gonna
but
be,
mine is I don't know that it.
this is Herculean.
I clearly, if we reduce the occupancy.
We've known you a long time.
I'm sorry?
We've known you a long
Yeah,
time.
you have.
And we've certainly admired a great deal of the projects you've brought before this board.
Thank you.
And I'd like to believe we've been cooperative,
Very.
congenial, polite. What are you trying to do?
I'm not trying to do anything. It's just, look, you've all
Yeah.
been very helpful and very patient. This is one that I've been working on for 6 years while I'm bringing the other projects. This is one that I really would love to see happen, because I think it's a nice statement in the village. To have-
Everybody's got a
I'm
statement.
Put a
talking about the
restaurant
plaza.
back-
I'm not talking about
Put
the
a
restaurant.
restaurant back there.
It-
Like, it's one thing to have fun shows, it's casual, people go back there, they grab it,
Right.
they eat, they leave.
And
If
they're
you're gonna have
come
one,
and
if
go, yeah.
you're gonna want a nice sit-down restaurant back there, to me, that falls more to the categories, if you build it, will they come? I don't know. It's not really an
Well-
opportune location for that kind of restaurant,
Well,
in my opinion.
I will tell you that Harvey has gotten a number of inquiries, but they said, not enough seating capacity, and that's really it. And, if I were to do just the greenhouse and forget the addition in front, okay, I probably could pick up maybe 25 seats. That's about it.
You're talking about 1,100 now?
1,100
Oh,
square
oh,
feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, and we're.
and you're gonna get how many in 1,100 square feet with a kitchen?
Yeah, well, there is
40
there
seats
is a
inside,
layout.
24 outside. Then across the way, there's a whole bunch of other patio seating, which we can't figure out what that's tied to.
What, the outdoor stuff?
Yeah, behind the front building. There's something about a new faux wall and a canopy
Yeah.
coming up the back of that building with
I could tell you what that's all about. I mean,
40 or more seats.
First of all, the seating that's behind 123, it's just seasonal outdoor. It's not for a restaurant, okay? In fact, we'll take it out and put some other type of seating in there, if that's okay, to make it more like a park. The
Well,
wall,
we
the
gotta
reason
ask
that-
how that fits
know how
in.
that would
How does
even
that
tie in.
fit in?
So, seasonal outdoor seating, it's one parcel, so that's a, trustees can approve seasonal outdoor seating. When it's just seating style, I think typically you wanna see more benches and those types of things, not
Tables and chairs.
tables and chairs that kind of, but obviously the trustees are gonna steer that. We don't, the planning board doesn't even comment on this anymore.
Okay.
But the trustees also have, restaurant use is a special exception. It's a sewer question, there's a certain amount of, there's only so much flow we have, so. There is, as to, I think the board's point, yeah, you need variances and special exception and this board's approval, but the trustees probably would have the most to say with
Yeah.
the capacity first.
And that extra outdoor seating, that's not tied to anything in particular. That was raised in the context of the North Mall. And of course, the big issue comes, who polices it?
Yeah.
Who's in charge of the tables and chairs, making sure they don't walk and you don't, that's a whole other issue, so.
But that's trustees.
Yeah, but I just like to point it out.
Okay.
Let me address the wall that you're talking about, okay?
The faux wall.
The faux wall,
I like the
okay?
faux wall.
Right now, there is a retaining wall about 3 feet away from the back wall. You step down, we're getting rid of that, okay?
that's
What
good.
we're doing is we're coming straight across. Now, if I come straight across, here's the top of my wall, okay? And we wanted to put an awning over that so people could sit in the shade, so there you go. That's why we're raising that up. There's nothing mysterious regarding it other than that. We've toyed with a lot of options for that wall, I'm not even gonna get into it. But,
As long as it's not a
that's
faux
why.
load-bearing wall.
It's basically non-load bearing. That's basically it. I mean, we talked about, never mind.
I got you.
But anyway, that's really it. I mean, again, we've got to find a solution for the parking. That's really it. I don't have it right now.
I mean, to come back to us until you have a solution to the parking problem seems to be a.
Well, I think you've got to go to the trustees. We really, they're gonna take this over no matter what we do. It's, I mean, they've really supplanted this board on a lot of these projects. This has that flavor to me.
So I should.
I don't
have a-
agree.
No?
No, not on this. I mean, they're involved to the extent there's outdoor seating and dining, but
Well, they have a
But
special
the driving-
exception.
yeah, but there's gonna be a driving issue here on parking, which is a zoning board issue. If they can't, I mean, it's gonna be a heavy parking variance I don't know if you've calculated, if you've gotten that far yet, but it's gonna be a heavy one, right? So if they can't get that expansion through
ZBA.
the ZBA, that drives a lot of what's gonna happen here.
Well, the ZBA is gonna simply say, oh, what does the planning board think about all of this?
Well, but there has to be a part, given, you're both involved, because
Who's the chicken and who's the egg?
well, we started it with Flora, similar idea, they want a big expansion there, they want a big parking variance. They wanted to start just to get a feel for what the zoning board might say to the variance, to see if they were gonna get shut down.
That's where they went first, though.
They weren't shut down, but the zoning board said, you really need to spend some time with the planning board to work out, is this operationally even gonna work, right?
So we're the chicken.
So
they're the
you
egg.
have to decide operationally whether this site works at all. They're gonna have to deal with whether the variance can be justified, the big parking variance. And the trustees will have their jurisdiction over the outdoor seating and dining and, but.
A special exception.
But they're proposing a lot of site work that is squarely in your territory, so you can't just say it's not,
But
this
with-
isn't our decision to make.
But
It's
with
a-
the restaurant is the linchpin to the whole thing. If they don't get the restaurant, they're not doing a thing. And they can't get the restaurant without the parking.
Right.
So, I mean, it's circular, but let's break it down to what it really is. They want the restaurant to drive the rest of the project. If you don't get the restaurant, you're not gonna do the rest of the project, right? Probably. So if we need a
Unfortunately, yes.
resolution on the parking issue before we all spend a lot of time talking about something which may or may not ever happen. Save him and his client a lot of money and all of us a lot of time.
I mean,
It's hard to argue.
I'm not against them opening up a zoning board application, right?
I'm sorry.
You're looking for all the parking.
Let's,
No one wants to
we
drop
can
that
get that
number.
going.
Yeah, do we have?
There's no parking.
There's no.
Did
You don't have
anyone-
any
No,
parking.
what
You're
you're
not even getting a variance. You don't have anything to
You know
begin
what
with.
I'm saying? You don't have any, but what's the drop dead number? Hopefully this is tight.
Just type 2.
What makes it
Less than-
worthwhile for him to do
less
the
than
project?
4,000,
How many
yeah.
seats? 40 isn't gonna be a number.
What makes it worthwhile?
I beg your pardon?
What makes it worthwhile for him?
Yeah.
If he can get a tenant in that building, and unfortunately, the only tenant, I hear you, the only tenant that he's getting bites on, forgive me, is from restaurant tenants.
That
There's
40
nobody coming in. From my recollection, Brunetti went in there one time, I think it was about 3 years ago, and said it's too small. I forget this, I don't know who this guy is from Manhattan. He came in there and he said, there's no way. He said, I can't, I need seats. You know, we have that nice outdoor patio area to the north of the building. That's where we thought we can put a dining room there. But again, anything that I add into that building is gonna trigger a parking space.
You can't do anything,
I can't do any,
anything minimally substantive without having a parking problem, no matter what you do. So I don't know how we get,
Clothing store worked 6 years ago.
there were more
That's been the problem.
mannequins in there than
You know,
people.
Exactly.
I will tell you, we've told him, rent it to somebody, anybody, you
Yeah.
know, and that's the reason
Don't
why.
leave it empty.
For 3 years, he gave it to H2M as their project
yeah.
office for free.
Yeah.
He didn't get a dime for that, for those 3 years that they were there. He said, I'd rather have somebody in there, you know, working
Maintaining.
on the sewer project, you know, and than leave it vacant.
I just think you have a fairly insurmountable
I guess
problem here.
I guess I'm asking you gentlemen for guidance. I don't know which way,
Well,
where
I
to
think
go.
you've got to rely on our experts for the guidance. You know, I think we're gonna look to them for, you know, some real leadership here.
With the seasonal outdoor seating, there's a lot, you're showing way too many tables. We wanna make sure that we're not showing a restaurateur, oh, look at these 60 seats outside, when Village Board doesn't have code basis to give you that. You're at 28 max. That's if you get at least 28 inside. And at, like you said, 40 seats inside, you're 14 to 7, how many parking variances is this? $6,500 per parking variance, and you're still challenged with a back lot that is full most of the time. So I think you probably do route to the, might as well, I think the only variance you're gonna need is a parking variance as far as I can tell. So we could start that, make sure that the zoning board is not, hard no, and then you gotta talk to the trustees, I think. Any outdoor seating that's seasonal, that's not tied to food use, like functions we get, tables, chairs, there's really no, people don't really sit inside and eat there anyway, they sit outside.
Right.
And this, whatever this is, you can show this board a patio, and this is where our seating will be, knowing it's seasonal, but if there's any more than 28 seats from them, and any more than 16 seats from Funchos, it's really questionable what else is going on. It's an outdoor park space, it should be more like benches, open, passive, not part of this restaurant. That's-
You gotta scale back your visual right now.
Right.
Before you go in, before you leave the room.
I agree. I think you've gotta find out what's the bare minimum that you can operationally get a tenant. And that will tell you what you really need, bare minimum, parking wise.
And don't put any, comfortable seating anywhere for the time being. You can come back next summer or the summer after and go to the trustees and say, we'd like to put this outside, conditional seasonal seating, not for the restaurant, and go through that rigmarole, but don't show that up on a plan that you're gonna hand to anybody.
You're gonna have a hard enough time getting the seats inside that you need to make it a viable operation.
Yeah.
That's just me.
So,
Not a big building, that doesn't seem like enough kitchen for 60-some odd seats, but I don't know.
Well, first of all, I just want to disclose that one of my family members owns a business, it's one of the tenants in this, but it's not the building that's getting impacted, so it doesn't have anything to do with your particular application, but I just wanted to disclose that. The other problem that you have when you start to look back at yours, other than the seating and the parking, is you really need to look at the needs and bounds of your property. I don't know if you saw the memo that I wrote, but a lot of what your proposals are not on the actual parcel. So before you show it to the trustees, you might wanna hone in on shrinking even the development, shrinking the seats, shrinking the development, shrinking the scope. I think it would behoove you.
all right,
And a big carry, of course, is going to be the improvement you'll make on the aesthetics of that courtyard. I think that's a big sell for us, or for me, and for, I would assume, the trustees. And the ZBA doesn't care about anything. Especially not us.
As we know from experience, far too many of these properties come back before us with any frequency. So when we do get you.
Yeah, we'll never see you again.
I knew I had this problem coming in, it's
Well,
just that.
I'm sure you did.
You know,
And I'm sorry if you felt we were unfair in any
well,
way.
it's, I figured, I've got, I had to come, I
You go
told
to the
Harvey,
best board you could first.
well, I told Harvey, we've got to get a reaction, so you've got to be willing to do that. And, but we knew this.
I hope we didn't
guess,
disappoint.
we'll figure it out. All right.
Thank
so-
you very much for your time.
Okay.
And we look forward to you moving, advancing
Yeah.
on this. We'd like to see it cleaned up. Certainly, those buildings are all,
for sure.
could use a little love.
TLC, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, can I just say something? No, he
I beg
he
your
didn't hear me, he didn't hear me. Yeah, I just wanted to say something,
Okay.
Frank, Harvey Drucker, you have the Jennifer's store. Jennifer's store is at Tortinelli.
Yes.
And then you have the 125 going upstairs, I believe, and then 126. This is the side of the building, right, on one side?
Yes, that's correct.
And then you have another side there with apartments upstairs.
That's correct.
Harvey Drucker might want to clean it up in the meantime, because this is going to take years, okay? But in the meantime, it looks like hell. People that come here to visit park in the back, they walk through the alleyway, it looks terrible. But
That
in the
would help
meantime, you
with-
can clean it
I
up.
mean, certainly, a modicum amount of effort would be.
Yeah, just a little effort, really. I mean, I see mildew growing on the walls there, it looks terrible.
I know.
And although you don't see it from Main Street, people that use the parking lot in the back walk through to go to
People
our
are
Main
at fun
Street.
shows.
Okay.
You know what.
You did a great job tonight.
That's the problem that we had on the back facade of 123. It was a
Yeah.
mess. And at some point I told Doug Harrelson, I said, just get siding inside it. You can't leave it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gotta clean this up.
No, I hear you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. All right, what do you got?
Further improved plan.
So we hear.
So as suggested, last time we met with Brad, or my clients met with Brad, and we submitted a different plan. And Chris is here tonight, and I'll leave it to him to describe how much we've improved it.
Good evening, guys, board. So, after the last meeting, Chris Vinay, Bating Hollow Club, Cases Creek Nursery and Landscaping. After the last meeting, we met with Brad. Ryan and I went in there, got a lot of Brad's input and the board's input, and went back. Do you guys have a copy of the plan? So,
Yeah, I have it on my, I got it on my iPad. Yeah, I think
We haven't really reviewed it yet.
all right,
The one thing I was able to review is the plant count. And, well, at first glance, and if you look at the bottom line and you go from 1,200 to 1,500, you go, oh, that's incredible. But the closer you look at that, I mean, grasses and perennials turn that corner for you. And the original plan didn't have any of those on it. And those plants, while they do make up a landscape plan, I don't think they replace the plants that were on the original plan. And we're not looking to replace them all, but I think this is my personal opinion. I don't know. I do have an issue with that.
so, I mean, obviously, we could keep picking areas to add. We did meet with Brad. We were concerned about the wall of green, obviously, which there's a significant more of those plants. We broke that up with the board's recommendation. We got rid of some trellises. We opened up the front, and we kind of zigzagged and gave it some dimension, and then put some large ornamental trees out in the street too, which would, vestigia tree will grow straight up and not into the power lines.
I don't
and
think
fit
it looks
that area.
bad from from driving down Montauk Highway. The way that you've opened it up, a few of those places that have, blue spruce?
Yes, sir.
And then there's one, I only went by one time when there was one gate entrance. And I don't think it looks bad at all if it, if you continue along that same
It's gonna
plan.
in my opinion, it's gonna get better. And with the board's help and Brad's help, we broke that line up. And we moved it in and out. We closed off some trellises, and we went in those areas that you guys wanted the next two trellises to be in.
Still have a solid green corner though, right?
Solid green corner where?
The corner of Depot Road and Riverhead, on Depot Road and Montauk Highway, we did change that, we removed.
Five spruces,
blue
yeah.
spruces, and there'll be kind of like an indentation, I guess highlighting the Copper Beech, and then they'll have some other plantings in there, so that corner is.
Gonna break up a little.
Good.
It doesn't show on plan yet.
It is there, we did not put one of those kind of zoomed in, highlighted,
That might help if you detail the corner.
Was there some signage going in there
yeah,
too?
we have to go and get a separate signage permit, but yes, there is a sign going in there.
I do think it would help to break up that L, especially since it's the community building that's there. It's not like it's not a private residence that you're screening. I think what you did along Montauk Highway is definitely an improvement, but you could look at that corner a little more carefully. And the big thing that I see that sort of the initial plan had 84 canopy trees and you were at 27 and now you're at 41, but 41 is still half of what we originally had. I think that number needs to be increased. Those canopy trees are the things that are gonna give it,
Age.
look like harmonious with what's across the street and what's throughout the village, as opposed to just evergreen walls.
And your ornamental trees, aren't those the flowering trees that we would like to see?
Correct.
So we went from the original plan of 59, the proposed plan, and then the current plan, yes, half again, less than half again.
So we could go back, Ryan,
Yeah, I think, with respect, we did change the plan and are adding a bunch more. I think if we added the evergreens for the privacy for both the community benefit and ours, and had the same tree count, it would just be a tree, like, we can't, I don't think it's feasible to preserve the deciduous tree count from the initial plan and the evergreen count that we are putting here. reacted to the feedback of creating these semicircle bays, putting oak trees and crepe myrtles along the street that would be visible from the road to kind of soften it and break it up. That was the intent.
The neighbor to the north, couple of those condos owners poked over and were concerned, so we did add some canopy trees back there for some variation up and down, and kept a large amount of evergreens back there.
Proportions are just,
I will have to say, I mean, in my nearly 2 decades on this board, I have not received such virulent feedback at how appalling they find that buildings look. And I must say, I feel as if this board was not well served. I don't think the visuals really gave the impact of how tall those buildings were, how close they were to the street, how tightly packed they were, and how much was being crammed in. There's 10 pounds in a 5-pound sack there. So I think I've heard people saying if the goal was to create East Patchogue, you've done a wonderful job. So I think it's well within your interest to do your best, because there are a lot of really unhappy people in this village.
well, regrettably,
I'm just
that
saying
ship is
what
sailed.
we're seeing
Okay,
right
so
now.
the buildings are the buildings, okay?
So
and
I'm
we're
just saying,
looking-
it's in your interest, I think, to work harder on this landscape to minimize further, or as best you can, what's there.
And to that conversation, I mean, I don't know that adding 200 evergreens is the answer. I don't know what the answer is, to be honest
We
with
have
you.
two competing issues here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One is to make it look nice to the community as they drive by. And the other is to mask,
To hide it.
to hide from the community what's there.
Yeah.
And, they're disparate goals. The hiding the project from the community, that's a green wall.
I don't
Adding
think,
some interest so that when you're driving by, it looks nice, is not a green wall, and that's, I think, the balance that Chris has tried to strike with this current plan.
And that's why what we did with Timber Ridge, I think, turned out so nicely, because it's not a green wall. It's a nice berm raised, it's varied.
You don't have that room.
We don't have the room, but had the project been scaled back properly in the
That
beginning.
ship sailed,
I
Dave,
know,
I'm
just
sorry.
racing, keep
So, I
saying
mean,
it.
that's why we did
Sorry, we're not
choose
taking the buildings down.
larger-
Nice try.
we did try larger evergreens to try to mask that
I know,
being
but
right
that-
up on
yeah.
the road.
We're
you
putting
know,
lipstick
we're
on it.
asking for 2 different things, and I don't think either is completely feasible.
If I may, it's a very long site, and yes, we always need this one key plan, but I think it might make sense if they broke it up into sections, because like you noted, I see the counts in the corner is definitely, they took feedback, but when you look at it on this plan, it just looks like very dense.
It
So
does.
it might help you to break this plan up over several pages, still have the one key plan, so it can be more digestible.
Emphasize areas more.
Yeah, because I see where you've added, but it still gets lost in the mix of the evergreen, just from the line weights and everything on the one plan on that one page.
So, as I walk the site and after your meeting, I try to put trees, and then I also want the health of the tree that it lasts, right? So the canopies don't wind up growing into each other, and that they're getting full sun. So, I mean, I really did plug in a lot. Again, I'll go back and keep trying to do that, and then we don't want them to then compete and smother each other out.
Like I said, but if these were 4 pages.
I got you.
It
Yep.
might be a lot
Could easier see it.
clearer, yes.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, we got a bunch of circles on this thing, so it's maybe some photographs even, so. But
You know, I'm gonna comment that I think the biggest visual impact comes when you're sitting at the corner going north. Because that's what I'm listening to from
by
my
the
wife
gas
and everybody
station,
and a lot
by
of
Valero?
people. They're sitting at the light, they're looking at the structures, and they're like, holy shit.
Is that on both ends?
No, I'm just going north
On Riverhead Road.
on Riverhead Road, like you're
But
sitting
that's,
at the light.
that's,
Yeah, we're
that's
not-
not really a topic. We know it's gonna happen there. That's where the big pines actually belong.
Yes,
Because that's where the
that's where
septic
I'm
is.
going with this comment, is that maybe that we have to address 2 different situations. One is further down the road where people are driving by and they're not looking like this going by, or maybe they're taking a quick glance, but when they're stopped at the corner
It's ugly right now.
and they're
so.
looking at that from the corner, that's what I'm listening to all the time. It's like, hey, do you see the size of those buildings?
And how close they are to the
That's-
roadway.
Yeah.
That's a, when
So-
you're, Morocco's right, when you're sitting at that light and you look to your left,
That's the issue.
it jumps out at you, you can't miss it. We
So-
both live on Oak Street, so we
Yeah.
do it 10 times a day.
I don't think there's, like, we're talking about two different plans, and implementing one of them completely or the other doesn't solve the problem.
Well, that's,
So-
I think that's kind of what we're looking for.
That's,
guidance for. I mean,
right,
taking your comment and his comment all by themselves, we're gonna put giant evergreen trees in the
right, and
corner.
then,
But then the streetscape is
Right.
on the wall.
So I'm
you know,
thinking
there's
that,
gotta be a-
you
there's
know,
gotta be a happy medium there
I mean,
somewhere.
it may at some point in the real near future, that we go stand there and go look at it together.
There's more
You know,
room.
because otherwise, this is just gonna keep going around and around,
Okay,
and you
Rocco.
guys are coming back.
There's a
and
lot
we're
more
not
room
happy.
on this
All right,
corner to play with.
Okay,
too.
I'm gonna,
That's what I mean, it's
I'm
like,
gonna
maybe
stop
there's
it.
two
I'm gonna
solutions.
stop it now. We're going around and around in this.
Yeah, we are.
Let's stop. Don, do you have any comments you'd like to make
No, I just
briefly?
defer to what I said at the last meeting, where, when you're on Montauk Highway, and as the applicant's counsel said, there's two factors here, what you see and what you can protect with your eyesight. But the most important thing for us is, because we represent the rest of the residents in this village, they wanna see a nice project from the street.
Okay.
I like
Larry,
seeing
please.
I like the variation, going down the street where you can see into the property, and then there's a green wall, then there's another opening, and, I like the looks of that. Maybe the corner could be improved some way. I didn't pay attention to it, but, I don't have a problem with it from the highway.
You care to sum up briefly?
There has to be a hybrid. The green wall doesn't work for anybody. It needs to be broken up. If you wanna see what a green wall looks like, look at the back of the development on our street, on Oak Street, for
Yeah.
the houses that are on, that run behind,
Yeah,
that
well,
run behind there. I mean, they're growing up,
they're not big yet either.
and they're not big yet, but dang ugly.
Well, I think it might be a hybrid solution that close it up, like maybe try to hide it from the corner, like when you're on Old Riverhead Road, you're going north, and then maybe give it what the other guys are talking about, like, hey, see in and you see nice, you know, it's not the green wall all the way down. But I think,
the details that we had inserted with the, you know, the plantings of the deciduous trees and the trellises, there's now a total of,
In all fairness, we haven't looked at that
no, I
yet.
understand, but but the intent was, we now have 9 areas of detail from Depot Road to Old Riverhead Road, which was in response to what you guys had told us last meeting, so, you know, we tried to take that into consideration and softening it while still providing the screen, so it doesn't look like patch up.
Okay. Ron, do you have any comments in closing?
you don't have a solution.
Make sure it's straight line.
Okay. Britton, is there something you
I made my comments.
Brad, we're gonna give you last word.
No, I think this is a vast improvement on what happened last time. I think it's still hard to look at. And I know a lot of that view from Overhead Road, when the sewer treatment plant is done, and that's fully lined all the way around, and that's how
Right.
it grows, that's gonna be hidden from that side.
Right.
But there's no reason to make them plant that,
No.
plant it.
No.
That's
No, that's the end result is, at the end of the project, we could probably hide the corner, but I think it's gonna be a hybrid solution. of-
Corner's the easy, in my opinion, Brad. We have plenty of room to stagger
But that's
and
not
mix
till
up.
the end.
It's
that's not
when
till-
the buildings are right on the road.
Okay,
is
we
the
got that.
challenge,
We
That's
got
the
that.
problem.
Right,
We got
so.
that. Does
But that's-
anybody in the audience have anything to say? I had a feeling.
Doesn't matter.
Smalley, nice to see you again.
Entitled
Is this meeting
to
being
listen.
recorded because my phone died? when
It
I was
is.
recording? I'm here representing many of the owners of patio villas, quite a few of which back up to the Bronx, I guess, or maybe Queens. It is a
I
nightmare.
really object to.
It is so ugly.
Inappropriate
Okay. All right, well, I grew up in the Bronx until I was 12, and then, thank God, we moved to Westchester. Okay. Well,
Mr. Hume, please contain yourself.
I'm sorry, but this is just very inappropriate.
well, I'm not getting paid for this, you are. So,
Excuse me, excuse me.
We don't
Yes.
intimidate people when they're speaking. So let's let
there
her
are
speak.
way too many buildings. The setbacks are not enough. I've driven by Timber Ridge, and I didn't even know it was there because it was built when I was not out here. And the planting there is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's very nicely done. I know you kept going back and making them put in more and more and more. And from the road, it is fabulous. I don't know about on the other side. That's what I'm worried about with patio villas. Perhaps the developers of this project should have driven through our community a little bit, because we have many units, 66 on 11 acres, but it looks like a golf course in the middle of our units because we have beautiful landscaping, rolling hills, the density is spread out, we're set back from the road, it's very nice. That's not what I see happening at the Gables. And I've heard from so many people who drive by that and say, what WTF is going on the corner there? It's horrible. Is it Southampton? Is that maybe why it got passed? And I said, oh, no, that's West Hampton Beach. You should have gone to the planning board meetings and done something about it. I know I did, but it didn't seem to make it much of a difference.
We tried to ship you to the trustees. You wouldn't listen to us.
Will they be doing anything along the perimeter fencing or just along the roadways?
I think we have a landscape plan that you're probably going to appreciate as much as you can.
I back up to Riverhead Road, which at the beginning when I bought, it was a disadvantage. Now it's an advantage because all I see is cars and they don't go very fast because the traffic is so damn bad that they're just crawling to the traffic light.
Well, you'll enjoy it more because it'll get worse.
The timing of the traffic light there, is anything being done about that at Depot
That's not
Road,
our
Montauk
purview.
Highway? Whose purview is it?
The state.
Okay.
It's the county, they're both county roads.
Because we were told after the traffic study that it would be adjusted, and it's still taking forever to get through.
I was told there was gonna be a right turn lane there, I'm still waiting for that.
And, I mean, unless the right turn lane is going through their pool area, I don't know where they're going to put any new lanes. Also, the USA station, which I know is in Southampton Town, they're continuing to park lots of cars along Depot Road outside of the fencing that was put up a few years ago. And they're these broken down cars that just sit and sit and sit for months. No one wants them, and they don't want to
That was
move them.
promising for a little while, too. They had cleaned that up nicely.
Well, last week I went by and there were many cars. Also, the drainage, we had a big rainstorm last week, and there was a major puddle by the Gables along Depot Road, and there didn't seem to be any drainage area there. So it was like they had put in a second swimming pool. I don't know if they're going to address that or not. There was an enormous puddle taking up half of the east half of Depot Road, right in front of the driveway into the Gables along Depot Road. So not enough planting. A green wall I would take compared to what's there. The buildings are too dense. Windows, windows, windows. I think, most of my neighbors are going to get old orange juice cans with strings and, make walkie-talkies so they can communicate with the people who are right behind me and say, you've brushed your teeth long enough, please stop.
All right, come on.
So the storage of cars, the USA station, and then driving into West Hampton Beach, I tell all my house guests to go a different way, because when you get to the traffic light at Montauk Highway and Old Riverhead Road, and you get to look to the right and you see that abandoned metro station, which I know Valero used to own, I think they still do, and it's rusting away. And then you look across the street and see the former Doors and Country Restaurant that I don't think anyone has talked about here. It said since 2/23 of the year 23 was the last time it was discussed at the meeting. That's
Nick
2.5
Vero-
years ago.
Nick Vero cannot walk into this room without me tackling him. And I'm not really good at tackling right now, okay? But every time Nick Vero walks in here, we ask for some kind of explanation. So I
Well, why don't you just, demolish it?
this isn't,
And send them a
This is
bill,
not a plan-
burn it
it's private
down.
property.
All right,
It's not a planning board
Mr.
you know,
Chairman.
situation.
This is a work session on a landscape plan.
do something
and
about
it's-
that?
It's going very much sideways.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
but-
blight on the way the village looks.
This is not a general public hearing.
And file a complaint with code enforcement, so can we just get
And
that
you can
down?
go to trustees meetings.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know you're good at meetings. We love you here. But this is not the right place for it tonight.
All right, so more trees are necessary, and maybe they should emulate Timber Ridge's planting.
We're working on that.
Good.
Please believe me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The density is the same as Pattyville, is the same as Timber Ridge. The density has not changed in 40 years, so we should stop talking about the density.
I'm certain somebody's got to have a rebuttal here. Is there a rebuttal, or can we call it a
Working
debt?
on a landscaping plan.
Yep.
Our landscape architect has some indication of certain additional tweaks.
Yep.
I think that, as been described, some of what we're proposing is lost in the manner in which it's been presented.
Thank you.
So we will attempt to produce a drawing that is more, easier to parse.
I
Thank
think it's
you.
hard to, certainly for me and assuming some of the people, it's hard to envision on a piece of paper what it looks like in the real world.
You're very fortunate to have a very good landscaper. He does have a vision.
Yeah, and I think the updated plan, and appreciate you guys probably didn't have enough time to review it because it was put forth relatively quickly. I'm probably eating my words. Does it make sense to do a sample detail of this on the site so you can actually come see it? Because I think it will accomplish what we're all trying to achieve, which is, you know, appealing from the street, having some screens so you can't see all of the buildings. But it's hard to do it on a piece of paper when they're just little circles. You know, it's hard for me as well.
Yeah, us too. And just as an aside, you will obviously be looking to preserve good neighbors and do the correct landscaping on your border to the north there.
What's, I just out of curiosity, you know, because we all know that when these arborvitaes achieve a certain height, at the lower levels, they become bare and die.
Well,
So
I don't know
what
that
kind
we're
of
doing
main- I'm just saying, but what kind of maintenance, you know, provisions are we making to make sure
Well,
it stays?
You're gonna bond.
I'm just saying.
You're gonna bond it.
And also.
You know this.
And what are you accusing me of?
Approved site plans, approved site plan. If someone has screening trees and a couple of them die down, it's a violation, they need to replace it.
Yes.
It's something that, if that happens, complain to code enforcement, you take the plan, you say, hey, you lost them. Obviously, trees are gonna die, things are gonna have to be swapped
Yeah.
out. But that site plan is the last approved site plan, so like, if something is not being maintained, it would be a violation, we would start an action against them, and then they would have to replace it.
We're gonna make sure they do the right thing for you, Ms. Smalley,
The right thing for us, I think.
and for them too.
Be a win-win.
Everybody's happy.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again. We'll take some time and review your submission. And we'll see you at the next meeting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
If we get something submitted to the village by 4 o'clock on Monday. We're not-
Just so, what is our homework with respect to resubmitting something? That's what I want to make sure I know what I need to do.
We need some more deciduous plants, is that correct?
Canopy trees, a plan broken into 4 sections.
Meaning you want more canopy trees?
We want that
We're just
number to
trying to see
increase.
what has been inserted in this new plan in greater detail.
Everything that was just culminated in the discussion, maybe you wanna watch the video? They said things about the canopy trees, the other number that was really small was the ornamental trees, breaking up the green wall that's on the corner of Depot and Montauk Highway, having some undulation in there, and then physically just breaking the plan up so that it can be reviewed, and giving us 10 days to do it, so that we're not half of us having any time to see it, and it came in today or yesterday.
We appreciate your attention to it. And we will continue to move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We have minutes from the June 26th meeting. I need a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Make the motion?
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
And we need a consultation on our next
We have a lot of moving parts, right now.
Okay.
The only thing that we can tell you is definitively has come back in is 104 Glover's, 104 Main and 35 Glover's.
Okay.
Um,
Really? Oh, boy.
Yeah, we don't have enough copies of it, and we don't have a digital submission yet, so we didn't look at it, so
Okay,
just moving parts.
That's a
We
tight,
don't have anything confirmed on the agenda as of right now.
okay. We like that.
whatever it is, that's gonna be a tight fit.
Thank you. I need a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, team.